What's up, guys? This video has been a long time coming. I've had this video in my catalog for about a year and a half, and I'm just now making it because it is probably gonna be the longest video I've ever made, but it has to be because this is a very, very complex topic. But I'm sure many men want to know just how to do this, and I'm here to give you the blueprint. Step-by-step guide. Now, there are some things that you can kind of play with, but as long as you follow this to the T, you will get exactly what I am promising. So let's get into how to build and maintain a rotation from scratch. Now, first off, you may ask, if you don't already know, what is a rotation? Well, a rotation is basically a multitude of women that you see consistently that offer you sexual access. You are on good terms, if not outright companions with them. Meaning you see them, you go on dates, you spend time with them, you have sex with them, and you're doing this with a multitude of women. The number may vary, it depends on the person. Now, you may ask, King's Wisdom, why would I want a rotation? Shouldn't I just get one girl, or shouldn't I just have like a bunch of one-night stands, blah, blah, blah? Well, here's the thing. One-night stands get super old super quick. I mean, at least for me, I got tired of one-night stands after like my first year of doing it, and I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. Because I'm a big softie, all right? I like connection. I like consistency. I don't like hit it and quit it, one and done. And because I don't drink, I don't really suffer from post-nut clarity. So if I smash a girl, it's more likely than not that I want to do it again and again and again and again. Not just hit it, oh, what have I done? And then kick her to the curb and never talk to her again, right? That's not who I am. Now, as far as dating one girl exclusively, to me, that's once again not who I am, because I want multiple women in general. And also, let's say I was a monogamist, that just gives her too much leverage. She's the only girl I'm seeing, the only coochie I'm getting. Why would I give her that much power? It's just not for me. Now, if you disagree, then continue with the one-night stand or continue with the dating monogamously, but this is for the men that want a rotation. Now, before we get into building out your all-star team, we must first explain the prerequisites for even trying to make a rotation. You can't just wake up and get a rotation. No! There are some prerequisites that are needed, and we're gonna go through those first. Now, here is a list of things that you absolutely need in order to build a rotation. First, you need money. Have to have money. You cannot build a rotation, a quality, consistent rotation, if you are broke. Next, you need self-confidence. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will believe in you. Third, you need a good understanding of women. If you don't understand women, you can't even handle one, let alone multiple. Fourth thing you need is to be tired of chasing women. Meaning you're tired of going out and doing the same old hunt and routine. You just want some consistency in your life. The sixth thing you need is to be good in bed. You cannot be trash in bed and have a rotation of bitches. It is impossible. I'm sorry. You need to have some level of bedroom competency. Okay? Next thing you need is to have a strong character and strong boundaries, meaning there are things that you will and will not tolerate from anybody, let alone women. There are lines that will not be crossed by anyone. There are standards that you have for yourself and for others. You have to have this clearly set and lined out, because if you don't have boundaries, then there's no structure. And if there's no structure, you cannot contain multiple women. You can't even control one. The last thing you need in order to maintain a rotation is the ability to punish a woman for her bad behavior. And you must be able to leave a woman not easily, but comfortably. Meaning, if you can't walk away from a woman, you cannot have a rotation because you will have no spine, no backbone, and you will fold to their demands. Now that we've went over the prerequisites for building a quality rotation, let's go in to the first step into building your rotation. Draft day. Now, the first girl that you find has to be number one draft pick, an all-star caliber player, a projected Hall of Famer, okay? She's your most important pick because she is the foundation upon which you build your ladder of bitches. If she is not rock solid, the whole dynasty will crumble. It's essential that you find the right girl to pick as your first number one overall pick. Now, when you find a girl that you see has some potential, you must do background checks. You must verify that she's not a hoe, she's not crazy, and she's not materialistic. Make sure that none of these are gonna be an issue down the line. The next thing you need to do is let her know up front that you date multiple women. Listen, fellas, you cannot build a dynasty upon lies. You have to be honest with her. Let her know, hey, I like you, but I'm not dating just you. Okay? Have to let her know that up front so she is comfortable with it. However, make sure that you do that after you fuck her the first time. Okay? Fuck her first, then bring that up. Okay? Because you need to make sure you got the coochie out the way, first of all, and second of all, you need to see that she even has the potential, because if she doesn't even have the potential, you don't even need to say anything, because she's not going to make it onto the team regardless. Once you've spent some time with her, I'd say 3-4 weeks, maybe a month, and you see, okay, she looks like something. She looks like she could be something. You let her know, hey, I'm dating multiple women. And depending on how she reacts, you'll know if she'll stand the test of time. Meaning, if she acquiesces and says, okay, whatever, that's fine, you got yourself a potential number one pick. But if she's like, makes a lot of noise, threatens to leave, she's not gonna make the cut. Okay, remember, your number one has to be the strongest one. Once your first number one is cemented, you then rinse and repeat the same process and get the other women that you need. Now, you will have to go to where your limit is, meaning you will only have as much women as you can handle. For some men, that's 2. For some men, that's 3. For some men, that's more. Me personally, 3 is my maximum. Never bite off more than you can chew. If you cannot handle more than 4, more than 3, more than 2, stay in your lane, because this is something that's going to be built to last, not something that just see how high you can go. No, it's for consistency, sustainability. That's the point. Now, the next step into building and maintaining a rotation, the game schedule. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that you must have your women on a schedule. That means you can only see them for a maximum of twice a week. And it cannot be consecutive days ever. It has to be spaced out. For example, a Tuesday and a Friday, a Wednesday and a Saturday, a Thursday and a Sunday. You give 2 to 3 days in between meetings. Why? Because if you see her consecutive days, it ruins the mystique. If you see her in 2 days where there's a space in between, it gives her time to miss you and look forward to seeing you. If you have more than 3 women on your roster, you can only see women once a week. You can only see them once a week. You cannot see them more than once a week because it's not sustainable and someone is going to get left out. You need to keep your women's attention meters in mind because they all need attention. You have to remember that this is for sustainability once again. So maximum twice a week. If you need more than 3, once a week ideally. But you make sure that you don't see them more than that. Don't give them a chance to get tired of you. Now, the next step to building and maintaining your roster, home games versus road games. What do I mean? I mean that just like how you should have structure in when you see the women, you should still have spontaneity. Because while women like structure, too much of it can make it boring. You need to spice it up. You need spontaneity. What does that mean? You need to go on a date with the women in your roster at least once a week. If you're seeing the women twice a week, I recommend only 1 date per week. And if you're seeing the women once a week, 1 date every other week. But the date must be where you bring the spontaneity. The date must be where you show her why it is a gift, a privilege to be with you. And how do you do that? How do you leverage the spontaneity? Simple. Instead of telling her what you guys have planned or what you're going to do, you just tell her, hey, wear this, do this, bring this, and come here to this location. And then she doesn't know what you have planned, but she brings the necessary things. You take her on the date that you have planned. Make sure that it's thoughtful and tailored to her desires and interests. And once you do that, she's like, wow, I didn't expect this. This is a great surprise. And she enjoys it. And what you'll find is that if you do this consistently with the women that you date, they look forward to seeing you. They try to get you to break your schedule. Hey, can I just see you tomorrow, please? I just want to see you tomorrow. Why do we have to wait till 3 days from now? It's too long. I need to see you now. Never fold. Keep the schedule. The schedule is what's making her needy like this. That's what you want. And in doing that, and also injecting the spontaneity, meaning having tailored dates, it's going to make her a lot more invested into you. And that is what you want because that builds consistency and sustainability. Now, the next step into building and maintaining your rotation, locker room etiquette. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean that you must consistently fuck her brains out. I'm serious. It's every single one of the women on your roster. You need to fuck all of them consistently to climax. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If you're not putting it down in the bedroom, it is very easy for your roster to crumble. Very easy, very easy. So you got to do a lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally do. What does that mean? You can't keep fucking all of them in the same positions, in the same locations, over and over and over. No. You have to spice it up. You have to try new things. You have to fuck her in new places, in new positions, at different times. You can't just do it the same time, every time, the same position, no change. I'm sorry. You need variety because this stimulates her and it builds the bond between all of your women and you, which is what you want. Next step in building and maintaining a rotation is technical fouls, ejections, and fines. What do I mean by that? I mean that each one of the women that you have that you're dating will, at a certain point, guaranteed, test you. They will try you. They will test your gangster. They're going to see if you really are the man that you say you are. And This comes in some form of disrespect. Could be backtalk. Could be denying sex. Could be being loud and obnoxious and rude. It could be cursing you. Maybe even violence in terms of attacking your property or your person. But all these are no-nos, and they must be met with swift and appropriate punishment. Which is why I said one of the prerequisites of maintaining and building a rotation is being able to punish a woman's bad behavior. I remember I told you that at the beginning. Now, how it works is you must punish her according to the severity of the offense. Usually, if it's a minor infraction, you give a warning. And then, if the act is repeated, then you execute the punishment. But if the punishment is particularly heinous or particularly egregious, punishment must be swift. Now, what punishment, you may ask? Well, the punishment should always be you depriving her of access to you. You don't punish her with violence. You don't punish her with ridicule or insults or shouting. None of that. No. You punish her with subtracting access. Now, this could be as simple as you were supposed to see her again that week on a Friday. You don't see her. Maybe you don't see her that entire week. You had a date planned for her. Guess what? Date's canceled. You lost that privilege. You had something planned in terms of you fucking her brains out. You say, hey, I was going to sleep with you tonight, but you know what? You've been so disrespectful. I'm not fucking you tonight. You don't deserve it. And because you have a gaggle of bitches that you fucking, you can get away with one night without fucking her and be fine. Because you have another girl that you're seeing the next day or the day after. So you're good. You must be willing to punish her bad behavior. Why? Because if you let a woman get away with disrespecting you, let's just say it's a recipe for disaster. And if all of the women that you're dating are disrespecting you, you don't have a roster. You just have a bunch of headaches. God, that's, ugh. No. Now, the next step into maintaining your rotation: contract extensions. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean that if you have followed what I've said so far, at this point, maybe 3-4 months down the line, everything's going smooth. You're dating the women, you're going on dates with them, you're fucking their brains out, they're falling in love with you, everything is going well. At a certain point, they're going to say, okay, I need commitment from you now. They're going to ask you for that contract extension. They're going to come for the Supermax. The audacity, right? They think they deserve the Supermax. Have they been performing that well? It's at this point where you make a decision. Do you want a relationship with them? One of them? All of them? None of them? This is where you take some time to evaluate, because they're all going to probably want a relationship around the same time. Usually in the 5 to 6 month mark, they're going to look for that. So you have to think to yourself, okay, and I like spending time with all of them. Do I really want to be with all of them though? Like exclusively? And then that's when you have to think, right? But regardless of what you think, regardless of who you choose or how many you choose, this is how you execute. So you say to them, okay, I understand. You want to be my woman exclusively. That's fine. But it's not that easy. This is what I need from you. And then you lay out the requirements that you personally have for a girlfriend, for a wife. You give her your non-negotiables. And you give it to every woman that requests a relationship from you. Now, she has 3 options. She can adhere to your non-negotiables and thus elevate herself to girlfriend status. She she can say, I don't want to do that, but I don't want to lose you, so I just want to keep doing what we're doing. Which is fine. You were fine with that originally. You didn't want to change anything anyway, so you're good there. Or she can say, I don't want to do that, but I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to leave. In which case, that is also a possibility that you have to accept, which is fine. Once again, remember what I said at the beginning of the video for prerequisites. You have to be okay with a woman walking away, or you walking away, or losing a woman altogether. This must be something that you are okay with. Okay? Now here is the last step in maintaining a rotation. The off season. Now, what do I mean? I mean that there will come a time, it's usually inevitable, especially in your first go round, where you lose all of your roster. The whole team gets traded. And it's usually not going to be your fault. It's going to be them. Meaning a girl does something that is unforgivable and you have to get rid of her. Or it could be an extenuating circumstance, like she moves, or an ex comes back, or she wanted a relationship with you, but she didn't want to follow your non-negotiables and decided to leave. But regardless, you lose all of your roster. Not just one, all of them. This is going to happen. It always happens the first time. Now, in that happening, you do not, and I repeat, you do not scramble and try to get a new team together. No. That's the exact opposite of what you should do. Enjoy the solitude. Your wallet is going to enjoy it because you were spending money on all those dates. Remember that. Now your wallet takes a break. You don't have to spend as much money. Yes, you lose access to all that sex you were having. That's gonna stay. It definitely will. But you get to now focus on the most important person in your life. You. And instead of trying to scramble for another roster, focus on building up your finances to a higher level, building up your body, building up your style, building up your status, becoming an even more valuable individual. And when you've reached a new peak, then you start over and you build a new roster. And these women will be even higher quality than the ones you had before because you are higher quality. You get that? And then you repeat the process. Build from the ground up. Get your bottom bitch, then get the other new ones as well. Build your nice little roster, and then go through the cycle again. Now, you only need to do this maybe 2 or 3 times. So it's not up for everything. You're not going to be building rotations forever, right? But you only need to do it 2 or 3 times until you notice they stop leaving. They stop going anywhere. Because they realize, hey, this guy is the best guy I'm going to get. I don't have any other options. And at that point, you have all the leverage. And if they stop leaving, then that means that they're going to start what? Acquiescing, meaning falling into your frame, going forward and adhering to your non-negotiables. And from there, you pick and choose. Do I want all of them, or do I want some of them, or do I want one of them? And then you go from there. And that woman or women that you make into your girlfriends are now in the perfect position because you have now built your relationship according to exactly what you want and desire on your blueprint, on your manuscript. And now you are the king of the castle. There's nothing left for you to do but continue to maintain. There's nothing left for you to do, but you won. The game's over. You got the championship ring. You're good. You're done. So, in closing, that is how you build and maintain a rotation. It takes time. Yes. It takes energy. It takes money. It takes effort. It takes a lot. But it is also the most fun you'll ever have. It's the most fulfilling. And the reason why it is because you're honest. You're truthful. You're not hiding anything. Everybody knows what it is, and they all agree to participate. So as long as you don't slip up, as long as you stay on your toes, as long as you keep up your end of the bargain, you will never be the one who's in the wrong. It will always be upon them to be just as good as you are. And they will always fall short because they're only dealing with you. You're dealing with all of them. That's it for today, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm King's Wisdom. I got merch, link in description. I also do one-on-one consultations, link in description for that as well. That was one of my longest videos ever. Holy! But I hope it helped. I hope it gave you clarity and direction. So now you can take this and build your own legacy, dynasty, all-star three-peating triple-double team. I really hope. You're welcome.